Now let me ask you something, and don't you go answering too fast. All right? Is Josh Jacobs still elite, or are we just, addicted to what he used to give us? Because when you watch this video playing right now, these runs still looking real violent, still looking physical, still looking like that Josh Jacobs football we know. But fantasy football, it don't care about vibes, nah. It cares about what's left in the tank, chili. And by the end of this video, you're gonna understand why folks' opinions on Josh Jacobs' 2026 fantasy value are quietly splitting, and why most people are asking the wrong question. Now, you just stay with me. Here's the problem nobody wants to confront. Josh Jacobs, he's been asked to be the engine, the finisher, the identity, the bailout plan for years. And that kind of usage, it creates something worse than just injuries. It creates attrition. Now watch these highlights carefully. The power, it's still there. The contact balance, it's still there. But notice what's missing. Fewer long accelerations, fewer second-level pullaways, more earned yards than them explosive ones, you see? That matters, because fantasy running back ceilings ain't built on toughness. They built on efficiency plus opportunity. Now, before we talk 2026 rankings, you need to understand why this version of Josh Jacobs feels heavier, even when he's productive. We'll come back to that. Josh Jacobs, he's never been a finesse runner. No. He wins with forward lean, late leg drive, willingness to absorb punishment. That's his gift, you see. But gifts, they always come with a price. When you watch those late career power backs, there's always a moment where 5-yard runs replace 12-yard runs. First contact becomes the end of the play. Vision, it stays sharp, but that burst, it just fades away. Now, that doesn't mean the player is bad. Oh no. It means that margin, that little edge, it's gone. In fantasy football, well, it's played right there in those margins. This is exactly why analysts, they just can't agree on Josh Jacobs' 2026 fantasy value. Because depending on what you value, he looks either safe or, Lord, he looks scary. Let's break that down, shall we? So let's address that Google question directly. What are some opinions on Josh Jacobs' 2026 fantasy value? Here's the split. Side A says, he's still a workhorse. Volume is king. Running back 1 weeks will come. Side B says, mileage matters. Efficiency is declining. Touchdown dependency is dangerous. And the truth is, both sides, they're right. And that, my friend, that's the trap. Because Josh Jacobs in 2026, it ain't about talent. He's about role protection. If he loses even 10-15% of his workload, his fantasy value, it collapses fast. Here's the part most commentary channels skip. Josh Jacobs doesn't need to be dominant to be fantasy relevant, but he does need goal line trust, red zone priority, game script insulation. If he's still the in-questioning finisher, he's a fantasy starter. If he becomes part of a rotation, he becomes touchdown or bust. And that's why 2026 scares people. Because teams don't remove veterans all at once. They fade them quietly. One less series, one fewer check down. One more hot hand moment. That's how running back value dies. So the real question isn't, is Josh Jacobs still good? It's, how much does the offense still need him? All that. Here's what makes this uncomfortable. Josh Jacobs has done everything right. Played through pain, carried bad situations, earned every contract dollar. And fantasy football doesn't reward loyalty. It rewards timing. Draft him too early, you're chasing the past. Fade him too hard, you miss the weeks where he still controls games. That tension is why his 2026 outlook feels uneasy. So let me give you the cleanest answer you'll hear all offseason. Josh Jacobs in 2026 is a high floor, low ceiling fantasy running back. Best drafted after the elite upside backs. Most valuable to managers who understand role less than highlight plays. He's not washed, he's not elite, he's conditional. And conditional running backs require discipline. So, let me ask you, my friend, what do you think Josh Jacobs' fantasy value looks like in 2026? Are you betting on volume surviving or efficiency finally dropping too far? Drop it in the comments. And if you want real NFL commentary that tells you why the numbers move, subscribe to 241 The Gate. Because we don't react here. No, we read the game.
Set the game. Kick off, we break the kickoff. Lamar in the Matrix, 24 to 100 switch. We the gatekeepers, end zone speakers. Smash that sub or the glitch or replay. Kick off, we break the kickoff. No map for this route, GPS can't trace it.